Hello and welcome to the Scorpion Kastet review. I'm not particularly sure how to say the name, but this is the Tier 6 reward tank you get for the Battle Path. It is essentially a Scorpion chassis with a unmanned turret, a pair of missile launchers, and a upgraded 30mm cannon, I believe. It is a Tier 6 AFV Premium, and so we're going to have a look at it. So first off, you will not need to buy any modules for the tank. It all comes for the upgraded. Stock armor, basically useless. It does have the normal smoke grenade kit, so you do have the ability to get out of dodge. Relatively decent engine, 0 to 32 of 3.76, and about 30 seconds to top speed. Turret hold reverse of around 50 degrees is pretty decent as well, and you get an improved image sight. However, this vehicle does not come with the target designation ability, so unfortunately there are some issues there. Generally speaking, out of the Recon AFVs in Tier 6, there are only 3. This is the Fox, the Sabre, and of course now we have the Scorpion. So the Scorpion has the lowest damage and penetration of all the AFVs here. However, it has more DPM. However, as you have noticed, that doesn't always mean better, because of course the lower DPM, the lower damage in penetration, means that at longer distances and at some short distances when fighting certain MBTs, the Scorpion may have issues firing at them. It also has the highest amount of hit points and the most armor, however that doesn't particularly matter. And as well, it's slightly slower than the Sabre, has a better top speed, and it's a little lighter as well, but has a better hold reverse. However, it does have extremely good camouflage, the best out of all of them, but does fail on the move. However, you can fix this by taking camo and all the view range, to which you should get roughly the same view range as the Sabre. Apart from this, it also has the worst gun depression, with the Fox having the best, the worst deviation, pretty decent aim time, roughly on par with the Fox, and the worst turret traverse. But generally speaking, if you want an active scout, you probably want to take the Fox, and if you want a damage scout, you want the Kastet. However, the Kastet does not have the target designation ability, but unlike the Fox, it will be significantly better at maneuvering, as the Fox is a wheeled vehicle. Once you start maneuvering those things at high speed, you know what I mean, whereas the Scorpion is more controllable. The Sabre, while it has the highest damage potential out of all of them with its absolutely massive missiles, basically the swing-fire missiles, 700 pen, anywhere up to 900 damage, sometimes 1000, they can be considered uncontrollable. However, they do have a pretty decent reload time of about 28 seconds, so about 14 seconds apiece. The Fox having 20 seconds, but the Scorpion Kastet, in fact, I can't take the telescopic lenses, can I? Sorry about that. The Scorpion Kastet probably has the most usable ones out of them, because it's now 16 seconds instead of having 28 and about 20 respectively. The unmanned turret is also very good as well. This means that high explosive rounds will only cause about 200 to 400 damage and will not kill most of your vehicle. So if you're aiming for one of these things, aim for the hull. The unmanned turret is probably the best part about it, generally speaking. I was hit by a starship in one of the upcoming matches, and you will see, and he only did 200 damage, and I was saved until I killed myself. Normal standard AFV retrofit supplies, surplus part crates, or at least one that heals all your modules, same goes for the first aid cabinet, and always take an improved fire extinguisher. Field PV rebuild kit, and also the standard AFV missile control unit as well. Camo paint to give yourself 8% better camo, and of course that glorious 70 meters view range. Generally speaking, this is a very fun vehicle. I would recommend taking Sabrina. You won't be able to scout as well as a Sabre or a Fox due to the fact of your lower view range and the fact you don't have a target designate ability, so you're better off being more near the front lines. However, you can still scout with it, and you will definitely outspot just about every other class except for a designated scout. So you've got that coming to you. Given the extremely low damage and penetration of the high explosive autocannons, I'm not sure if using them is a good idea. but however, just take a small stock of them for when you go up against things like foxes and sabers and yourself, just for insurance purposes. It's a pretty fun vehicle, and let's jump into some games. Okay, so here we are, game on reactor. This is my first game in the Scorpion, and at the moment we can do our usual breakdown of the teams. So, I have a Scorpion, they have a Scorpion, they cancel each other out. We have more Stingrays, which are, to be honest, better than the Chieftain 900. The Type 90 is better than the Abrams. We have a WZ, it's better than the LAV. We have a BMD2, they have a BMP2. The BMP2, in my opinion, is better, but the Rukia is also better than the BMP2. VBLs cancel each other out. We have an Object, they have a Sheridan. We have a Starship, they have a Magak. So overall, while our high tiers are stronger, their low tiers, in my opinion, a little bit better as well. However, the fact that we both have an Object, which is kind of useless at this point. So we're going to go to the standard route I do for AFEs now, which is to go to this corner here and to spot. There is a rock and a bush which you can go to, and you can use that to spot enemy vehicles that are moving up into the encounter/cap area, which is normally where most of the heavy vehicles go, except for the dam. It's a pretty decent place, and to be honest, I'd rather move around than sit up on that hill all day. To be honest, sitting on the hill is better for guns, you know, AIM X10 RCR strikers, because using missiles, you're basically firing frontal into a bunch of MBTs, whereas most of the time you want to catch them on the sides. So here I am. I've gotten here less than a minute in. At this point, the slow enemy MBTs will be moving up to that location over there, or they'll just be cresting the ridge. And I would also be able to spot enemy vehicles over here. However, nobody's coming. Okay. And that enemy Scorpion, I was thinking at this point, okay, what if he's gone for a full recon package? Okay, let's think about it. Has he? Dunno. So at this point, just as I'm moving up, watch. I get spotted. And that was actually that enemy Scorpion over there, you can tell because of the double missiles, was actually over there. So good play to that guy. But as you can see, I got hit by an Object for 137 damage because he hit me in the turret. If he didn't, that might have basically completely KO'd me. So there you go. I mean, usually going there is a little bit more fruitful, and I'm trying to figure out where to go. Okay, let's see. So I was aiming. So at this point, considering the WZ is over here, simply sitting here isn't exactly the greatest idea in the world. And for now, we're actually going to move up. Another important thing to note about the Scorpion is that half reloads do not work. You've always got to aim for full. So, maybe that VBL's Pelly is actually more effective than me right now. And the VBL's going to move off at some point. So for now, let's just keep moving up a bit. Let's keep going. So, ooh, Magak. So this Magak is about to learn why the whole raised engine deck isn't a thing. And massive and excellent damage done by me here. I actually killed that BMP2. That's why you should always back off and at least move when you're smoking up. So the missiles work, which is good. And unfortunately, we are in free camera mode here, so you can't exactly see where I'm aiming. It kind of sucks a little. And where I'm going to aim on this guy is actually over there, which is where his ammo rack is. And he doesn't have a fire extinguisher. and he's going to call me a hacker. People like to do that. I thought it was funny, at the very least. It happens. Yeah. I've been accused of this as well, and I know it. Is that I'm not always that quick to press the fire extinguisher button, simply because when it happens, you kind of panic. I panic when I'm set on fire as well, so that can often lead to a lot of modules being destroyed, as you frantically try to search around for the key. So I can't really blame him there, can't really do much damage to that Abrams or anything else really. I'm kind of in the center down here, whereas to be honest, if I wanted to be more proactive, maybe I could have moved up down to about F1 and started proxy spotting that Abrams and everything else. Not much is going to happen really here, to be honest, and you can see I'm actually starting to make that decision now. Generally speaking, I think their Sheridans were being a little bit too aggressive this game, and then they were being aggressive and then they stopped being aggressive, if that makes any sense. But for now, I'm going to use the hill here as height, and the ability to fire down, or at least on the same level as your targets with missiles, is always a good thing. Please try to do that, as it will mean that if any missile deviations happens, you'll have a greater field of, oh look, a turret, you'll have a greater basically accident area to go through. So can't really see him yet, well I can see him, but I want to see the other guys. I want to see where that other Sheridan is. So at this point the enemy has no idea that I'm here. As far as they know, I'm still with the VBL, and we're going to basically KO that Sheridan. The missiles I think are generally lovely. They have what, 800 pen or something? But the vehicle is kind of screwed over by the fact that you have to go for 4 reloads. The game won't let you reload one missile after the other. So kind of a balancing factor there, as well as the fact you don't have a target designation ability, and also the fact that your spotting range is also quite a bit lower than other AFEs. So I feel like this vehicle, this is actually quite big, this. Yeah, so I feel like this vehicle has its upsides as well as its downsides. It kind of feels more like someone mated a Fox to a BMP. You know BMPs usually go for the whole what's it called? Battle AFE. Whereas Foxes are more like scouts, and I'm going to make a mistake here, as you will soon find out, because suddenly, who put that object there? Where did you come from? Oh, yeah. In the end, I did about 6,500 damage this game, so rushing into situations like that is not always a good idea, and you can see the difference between the damage of a Object 279 firing at the hull and firing at the turret, and the game has actually started responding now. So, on to the next game. Okay, so here we are with the second game that I played in the Scorpion Kastet. The following games were actually kind of a loss. A lot of it was my fault. At this point, I actually had a lollipop in my mouth. I know, I had a lollipop for once in my mouth, and hilariously enough, I did better with something in my mouth. Take note of that, whatever you will. There's a lot more lighter vehicles this game. We have a ton of Sheridans. We have at least 7. We have at least Sheridan. There's a VBL. There's a Stingrays around. Yeah. I was thinking, wow, this is going to be a lot faster than last time. So as usual, we're going to go to the regular spot for me. You can do it on just about any AFE in the game, provided it's fast enough. All you need is good camouflage and view range, and you'll be able to at least spot some enemies and figure out where they're going. You know, be proactive. Be proactive. Do something. Rather than sit at the back like so many players do and wait for opportunities. Why not create some yourself? So, the acceleration is pretty decent. It's not exactly like wheeled Fox levels or even at Saber levels, but I can't really complain about this thing's mobility at all. It's okay, there's nothing special about it. Well, there is something special about it as an AFE, but in terms of AFEs, there's nothing really that special about the vehicle's mobility, generally speaking. We've got a giant lemon train going on around here. I kind of wish that the dam would just be removed at this point, but oh well. And you're going to see something that I found to be absolutely hilarious. And the camera works. Okay, cool. Right, the aiming reticle works. So we're going to be sitting around here. Wait, oh shit, object. So I'm going to aim where you normally would do with Hesh, and it's beautiful, isn't it? Just watching things blow up like that. Oh, made my day. And you can see that IT1 hit me in the turret and only did 300 damage. That is the big saving grace of this thing. Because otherwise, I'd be down like 700 to 800-ish. Unfortunately, no hit on that Sheridan, to be honest. But regardless, I was pretty sure we could at least make something out of this. We can do something. Well, my thought process on this was, okay, what am I gonna do? I can either sit here in the middle, or I can start pushing up. So we might as well. The bouncy physics being a lot bouncy there. But for the first starters, we need to get rid of the Stingray. While I'm sure I can take one of them, I don't think I can take both of them on the same time. And of course that will happen to me as well. You can also guide the missiles normally. I was hoping that missile would go through the smoke, but it wouldn't. And they also have their other object 279 moving up as well. So for now, I might be better off just scouting at this point and seeing where the enemy is rather than blindly rush into combat like our friendly Sheridan did. We had 3 Sheridans, now we have only 2. Ooh, can we? Ooh, yes, that's good. And a turret blow up as well. That's pretty good. We have a Type 90 that's going to move up as well. And the enemy also has a starship down there. Now, starships make me nervous. Even if he hits me in a turret, he's still going to do some module damage at least, and I have no idea where this thing's ammo rack is. So things can be a little bit dangerous. For now, we've spotted the object again. Can we? No, no pen. 1 pen, that's good. 666. You'll do about 600 to 700 damage with this thing's missiles, which given it's a 16-second reload, you're doing around... You've got about roughly 3 reloads. And 1 shot at the start of the minute, so you've got about roughly 4 reloads a game. I was hoping to be able to hit that Fox. No. Okay, Fox is later. So, what am I going to do? If I go up, so if I go through here, I'm going to be spotted by the starship and the Sheridan will know I'm coming. That was unfortunately a no pen there. And I was thinking, I was like, let's go for it. There is, not many people know this, but you can go through this part of the map here and you can flank the enemy. And I think I was either typing or I had suffered from a temporary case of Parkinson's. There's also a car there. Fun little Easter egg. Also a broken barricade. But at this point, we can now go behind and go for that Sheridan. And I was thinking, is he going to be up there? Because that would be a good place to go. I mean, you've got the bushes and everything. But no, this Sheridan's going to stick it there. I was like, oh shit, he's down there. Oh shit, fire, rip, fire. and I killed the Sheridan. He's down. It would have been better if he was lurking around down here, because then he would have been able to spot people coming from behind him. But oh well, that's his fault, not mine. So now I want to see where the starship is. Where is he? Okay, nothing yet. Nothing. No. Where is he? You know that little paranoid feeling you have in the back of your head when you're like, the enemy's coming up behind me. The enemy's gonna come up behind me. I was like, shit, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? So this was the correct play by me here, which was to go down here and spot for the starship. However, where is he? And I kept thinking that in the back of my head, because someone would have seen him if he was pushing up to the center line, and somebody would have also seen him if he was coming down here. So the only place he can be is if he was either going to reposition and go through where the encounter cap circle is, or if he's coming up behind me. And at this point I was thinking, okay, he's going to come up behind me, But knowing that, and knowing that maybe I have a couple of seconds, maybe better if I sat here and I could either spot people or get some fire support going on. And as you can see, that was a good idea. And unfortunately I did not hit the Typhoon with both missiles. If I did, maybe this game would have gone out differently. But shit, there's a starship. Smoke, smoke, run, bounce, go. Oh shit, back. Oh. Out. So at this point, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Watch. Unmanned turret hit. It's hilarious. And at this point, I get killed by a victim of my own success, as you could probably see. Oh shit, there's a BMD behind me. Oh shit, no, no, I want to go. No, no, no. And unfortunately, the VBL got me. So, not exactly the greatest effort in the world. We did end up losing. I feel like maybe I didn't do enough, but then again, I guess I did. The only bad thing I could have done was to maybe go around this part and then attempt to do some damage to that BMD4. But at that point, I would have needed to be extremely quick, because as you can see, the moment I was spotted, that VBL know I was there. So, it happens. So, overall, as I've said earlier, the Scorpion feels like a battle vehicle. It is quite fun. The unmanned turret will at least get you some reprieve in PvE, as playing scouts in PvE can be difficult because the whole spotting and designated target ability doesn't really mean worth a damn. I guess you could take Eren if you wanted to really spot, but if you did, you would be wasting the potential of those two missiles and the autocannon. Whereas you would probably be better off taking Eren on the Foxes and the Saber. So, yes, is it a fun tank? Yes, is it worth it? Yes. And that concludes the review. If you'd like to help out with me getting money to be able to pay professional voice actors to do an intro for any premium vehicles or any vehicles I do in the game, please consider donating on the Streamlabs description below. If you haven't subscribed and liked already, you probably should, as I will be putting out a review at least once every week once the holidays wear off. And I also stream Armored Warfare at least twice a week with around roughly 5 to 6 hours of content there. So take care everyone, I hope you enjoyed the review, and to catch you next time, goodbye.